It's my foundation. It's my faith. It's my work ethic. It's my drive. It's everything that I've tried to build for myself that has made me who I am.
I'll do what it takes to make you believe.
Welcome back to another episode of the Strong Tower Podcast, guys. And this one is the last one of 2020.
Thank God.
So,
I mean, not for the podcast thing, but you know what I mean.
Yeah, so thank God 2020 is over. You know, we'll still have to deal with Corona a little bit in 2021, but hopefully it subsides and we can get back to what we were doing before.
But let's not even talk about it.
Oh yeah, let's not talk about that.
Let's
because
be
we're gonna
positive.
go into today. What we're gonna do is go through all the guests that I've had over the whole year.
Oof. 52 weeks?
So, no, but there's not 52 guests, though. I think
Okay.
there's about 26.
Okay.
So, and a couple of them are you.
Yes.
So, so it's not like, yeah. But, so I want to do that because, you know, I wouldn't be able to do this podcast without all the guests. And for me, it was funny because last year, that was one of my, resolutions.
Yep.
One of my resolutions was to get out of my comfort zone and to actually have guests on my podcast. And I was so scared and so nervous. You know, my anxiety was through the roof. Like thinking about like having people over and talking to people face to face. Like, how am I going to keep the conversation going? But then every single one, I just get more interested in what people do in their everyday life.
Yeah, now you reach out to all kinds of people, so...
Yeah, and I've had so many different types of people on, and you learn a lot.
Yeah.
So that's something we're gonna go through. But first, I want to just touch on a little bit about just New Year's resolutions, and even if you don't like those or you want to call them something else. So, babe, do you have anything that you want to try and do differently with yourself in the new year?
Everything. No. I don't believe in resolutions. I mean, my resolutions happen all the time. I'm constantly telling myself I'm going to do this or I'm going to do that. And it's never, I don't know. I'm not a follow-through person. I'm a goal maker who doesn't follow through. I'm a quitter. So having a resolution just sets me up for failure. So I don't want to do that.
But maybe that's something that you can try. Like, try something and just stay consistent. Like, give yourself the whole year to be consistent with it.
Yeah.
You know, I think that was a challenge for me, too, because I'm kind of the same way in certain things. And a big driver for me is that I know people will look at me and say, oh, he's not going to keep going with that, or he's going to quit that.
Yeah.
Which is a big driver for this podcast, was for me to keep going.
Yeah, I mean, I've always been a quitter, and so I really...
That doesn't mean, that's stupid.
I know that's stupid. That's
because
just
that doesn't
who
mean
I
you got to
am.
keep, no, it's not. It doesn't mean you got to keep being that way. You know what I mean?
I don't have to be that way. You know, I don't know. I'm lost for words right now. I don't have podcasts. Sorry, I see the word
Pull it together.
podcast on the screen. I don't know what's wrong with me right now. I don't set resolutions. I never have. I probably used to say, oh, this is going to be my year. I know I said it for 2020. That night at midnight, I was like, oh, 2020 is going to be my year. I'm getting surgery this year. My epilepsy is going to be like on hold, or at least could be like minimalized. Joke's on you. I just, there was a lot of things I had set for 2020 and a lot of things failed. And that's just another one of those things where it's like, dude, I said, like, this is what was going to happen, and nobody knows what's going to happen, really, except for if you make, like, a really specific, it has to be very specific, I feel like. Otherwise, it just doesn't work. So, there are some people, so I had a couple people I put on my Instagram story asking, what do you guys think about New Year's resolutions?
Right.
I had a few that said there's no reason for January 1st to be the start of anything. So
Right.
they don't believe in, starting a resolution at the beginning of the year. I had another friend, Amanda. She reached out. She said that what she does, and I love this, she sets a word for the year. So her word for 2020 was patience. And look how it played out for 2020.
Right.
Setting that before all of this even happened, and look what she had to go through. And she's a teacher as well. So, like, talk about patience. Like, going through all of this, that's crazy. Like, patience just seemed to be a good word to work out for her.
Yeah.
I like that idea, setting kind of like, almost like an intentional word that you're going to focus your life around something that's not necessarily a specific goal, but a word that you can take into everything you're trying to work towards and just be like, okay, with this, I need to be patient.
Right.
With that, I need to be patient. So I like the idea of a word or a phrase or something to get you through your year, to address to whatever comes at you that year. For me, there's so many things I want to do. There's so many things. I have too many. I think that's the problem. I don't know how to set goals because I have too many. I literally made myself a to-do list for work, for my work week. It's literally for one day. My to-do list, and I looked at it, and I immediately started panic because I was supposed to be one day's worth of work.
Right.
Like, what was I thinking? Why did I do that to myself? Why didn't I make it 5 things instead of 25? Like, why didn't I just start here? But I didn't. I had to go, and looking at it, I completely bombed that day because I just stared at it like, I can't get through all of this.
Right.
And I set myself up for failure in that moment by setting that list of goals. I think making lists is probably a good thing for me.
It is. I think writing things down is good, and also learn from your mistakes. You said you set yourself up for failure. I would, just learn from that, and keep trying to do the same thing that you did, but then keep trying to do it better. Just because you don't do it good one time doesn't mean it's not going to turn out good down the road.
Yeah, this is true.
And those are things like we all have to work on, is just trying to better ourselves. And
I know one thing I for sure set up was, and you're gonna hate me when I hit checkout, but I've got Kohl's dollars and I have a gift card for Target, so it's fine.
I don't care.
But I want to work on my skincare routine. I asked for a gua sha and a jade stone roller. You have no idea what that is. But
Gua sha.
if I do
like that, though.
if you want, I'll do it to your face for you one time.
I have a gua sha.
But
I need a gua sha on my nose.
Well, it helps. It helps so many things. It's good for and it's good for people who get sick a lot.
Oh, okay.
So I recommended this I think I recommended it to my friend Becca, but I don't know. Because she's big in the sinus issues as well. It's good for draining your lymphs. So there's a specific way you use this little tool. They come in all different shapes. I asked for a specific one that I've seen a lot of videos on. It comes from ancient Chinese methods of like herbs and healing. And this helps you drain the lymphs in your face and down your neck. There's very specific ways you're supposed to do this. And it actually, supposedly, I say this with a grain of salt, but it's toning those muscles, kind of strengthening the muscles in your face and your neck. And it's kind of helping give you those cheekbones and that harder jawline and kind of draining some of that bad stuff out and helping keep things moving through your face.
It just sculpts out the shit.
It does. You hold a lot of puffiness and tired eyes and all that stuff. So part of my goal, I guess you could say, would be my skincare routine.
Yeah.
I have all of these goals on working on myself from the inside out. And there are little things where I know that losing 50 pounds is not a realistic goal for me to be like, yeah, I'm going to lose 50 pounds. Like, that's not something I can do right now. I can't just say that's what's going to happen.
Right.
I don't, regardless of what's needed and what's not, mine is going to be, I'm going to work on myself, But there are specific things that I know. Like, okay, right here and now, I know I can buy all of the products I need and work on my skincare.
Right.
Specifically, my skin will be something that definitely gets taken care of day and night,
Yeah.
all week long. That's something I won't let up on. And journaling. You bought me journals for Christmas. Part of that will include me writing down that I took care of my skin that day. These journals that people have come up with, these, you know, the ones that you got for me that I had found before, you know, one for exercise, one for inner self. I need them both. You know, keep track of how many hours of sleep I get. Keep track of how much water I drink. Keep track of my thoughts that day. Did I have seizures? Did I not?
Right.
Did I have a panic attack over nothing? Did I cry today? Like, why did I cry today? It's just those kinds of things where you see it's broadening constantly, all the things that I want and need to do. And I don't want to just start on January 1st. I want to start it today. So.
Yeah. And that's what I like to do. When I think about it, I try and start it like the next day, because I'm also not that type of person. I'm not a resolution person, and it's great for people that are. But I just come across so many people that just quit in February. And it's just like, why did you even start this? It's because it's too broad. Their goals are too broad. I want to lose weight. Okay? That doesn't mean anything. It doesn't mean anything to yourself, and it's setting yourself up for failure.
I have one specific goal I forgot.
Okay.
I want to go to Disney without a mask with a meal plan.
But you can't help that though.
It's a goal.
It's a goal, but I understand that, but you
Maybe
can't. That's
it's a
not something
dream.
you can help. That's more of a dream.
Okay, well that's my dream for
But
2021.
that's something that you can't help,
Hear
and
me.
it's not in your control. And so going back to the losing weight thing, for people that are out there that are listening to this and they want to lose weight, don't even give yourself a number. I want to lose 10 pounds. I want to lose 10 pounds. Don't even do that to yourself. You know what you
I think
is knock it down even lower. Say, okay, I want to eat healthy, whatever your definition of healthy is, for a week.
See, I hate that word, healthy.
Well,
eat-
everyone's definition is different.
Right, true.
And what is healthy?
I want to eat better. That's what my sister Penny says.
Yeah,
she
eat better.
says, I want to eat better. I
Right.
want to add more vegetables to my diet. That's what she said.
Yeah.
It was plain and simple. We're going to have more vegetables in our meals. That's what she told her kids, what she told her husband. Like, I want to have more vegetables in our meals. We're going to eat better more
Right.
often.
And then that's why my life saying is do better.
Do better.
You know, and I took it from Brink, even though theirs was skate better.
Skate better.
Mine is do better, because it's simple, and you can put it towards anything.
Yes. you
Okay,
can.
do I have to do, setting up things for a business, setting up things for a podcast? Do better. Okay, what can I do better? And you always break it down. You know what I mean? You look at those things. And you use one things.
Those one things. You look at
Okay,
all
man.
those one things and
Speak better, Ben. Speak better.
talk better.
Talk better.
I actually do want you to speak better.
Well,
You know what?
it just comes out in me
it's
a lot.
something you should
I do try.
You should try losing the word and losing the term and things like that.
I've been
and
trying, and
stuff
you know,
like that.
and you know. I've been trying, but things pop up.
When you talk to me, you don't generally have that. It's everybody else you talk to.
Well, you know
I
what
think
it
it's
is.
a
It
comfortable- I think
feels
it's a
it
comfort
fills
thing.
the conversation.
It does.
It fills the
Well,
the
I
dead
actually
air.
think because you're hoping for a response, you tend to say that. You go, and things like that. You know what I mean? Or and then
Yeah.
that's
Well, it's
when,
because I
it
say
leaves
something,
an
and then the
opening.
person is quiet, so it
Yeah.
makes me feel like I need to fill the air. You know what I
You
mean?
just hop in there
And
with
I just
something
did it-
quick and just
I
be
just
like,
did it again.
Just be yeah. You just be like. I think I just set.
That's
Ben's
my New
goal,
Year's
everyone.
resolution.
I just set his resolution for the year. He's
Talk
gonna
better.
stop. He's gonna stop. Talk gooder, okay?
Talk more good.
Talk more good. Talk more gooder. You need to be gooder.
Yeah, but then we did get a call and to see from your brother and is it sister-in-law? Is that what she
Well,
is? to
she
you?
is married to my brother,
Yeah,
so
yeah.
that would make her my sister-in-law. Let's hear.
Hello, this is Lorenza coming to you live from San Antonio, Texas. I believe in New Year's resolutions, and instead of a resolution this year, mine is just a word, and that's to be healthy. What about you, Chris? What's your New Year's resolution?
That was more than just a word. I like that. Be healthy.
Be healthy 2021.
Be positive, test negative.
Woo! Holla.
Oh my gosh.
Thank you, Lorenza from San Antonio, Texas.
I love my family. I miss you. All of my kids.
Yeah, but that's like we were saying before, like be healthy.
A word.
And
I like that she said a word.
Right.
She just picked one.
Even though
generic.
it's a broad thing, you know, but it's what's healthy for her.
Chris said.
You know what I mean?
That's more than a word.
That's more than a word. Be healthy. That's 2 words. And then he said, be positive, test negative.
Be positive, test negative. I already did that.
Yep, same.
No, I think that's a really good one, actually, and Laura sticks with what my friend Amanda reached out to me about. I loved the idea, and that author, I know I talk about her all the time, but Annie Downs, my girl, gosh, if I could ever get her to listen to a podcast where I talk about her, life would be complete. I adore...
Yeah, we'll just have to tag her every time you talk about her.
I adore that woman so much. I have 6 more books to buy. That's also on my list of things that you have to pay for. No, I'm not high maintenance, guys. I'm not. He just really takes care of me. He doesn't have to love better because he's good at that. Just so you know.
Thank you.
You're so welcome. That doesn't mean slack, okay?
Okay.
So, no, she actually talks about, in her books, people set words for each other. They have a group of friends, like a core group of friends. And then she also has a word for herself. And she does hers at her birthday. So she considers her 1 year of her birthday to her next birthday instead of January 1st to December 31st.
Right.
She does it that way. And I think that's cool. So she has 2 words that are kind of associated with her. One that her friend, prayed on, thought about, and it came to her, this is what came to me for you. And, she got one that was love. And that's something that has eluded her for years. And she also runs from it, too. She has a fear of it. So that was something that, she just, and the word bride came to her once, and it was tormenting her. But she realized one night she was celebrating New Year's Eve with a whole bunch of family and friends that she considers family, I guess you would say. She wasn't with family, but she was in her favorite place, Edinburgh, Scotland. It's her favorite place. All these people, all this food, and she realized she was surrounded by love. It wasn't the love she thought was going to come to her, but it was love. And right there, she cried, and she thanked God for giving her love that year. And I was just like, there it is. Now, bride never came to her in the way that she thought, but it's still the word thing I like rather than the big goal thing.
Right.
The word is skincare.
My word is talking.
No, in all honesty, I think my word is improvement.
Yeah.
My brother.
And it could always be that too.
Well, my brother asked me that the other night.
Right.
I love that. Jason's goal, his New Year's resolution, is to every year he wants to learn more about something he's not that knowledgeable in.
Yeah.
So he just goes for it. And I said, okay, well then I want to become more knowledgeable in self-improvement. Not necessarily that I have to go do everything I read. I want to learn more about it. I want to see what other people say they do to build themselves, to, I just want to find all different things. I already found a new workout program that I love, that makes me happy, makes me smile. It's been a long time since I've had that, since I've had heavy weights in my hands and not had a seizure and dropped them. That's the last time, since I've had that, since I was in jiu-jitsu, like all of those things, this stupid little workout program, not to insult it, but it makes me happy. It's fun, and it's something that really just...
And that's what working out's supposed to be.
And I miss that feeling, and I guess this is what it's giving me to start me on my on my trail way back.
Yeah, there you go.
my way back is what I was going for, but I think that's just what it is. People setting, like you said, it's maybe not specific super specific makes it hard, I think. When you do a generic thing, I think it kind of makes it a little easier because there's room to maneuver in there.
Yeah, because if you set it too specific and you don't reach it, you're going to be
You
pissed off at
trash
yourself and you're going to be mad. Right.
And that's what happens to me.
Right, but you might end up doing something in that spectrum,
That you didn't
you know what I'm
even
saying,
realize
that you didn't
were
realize you're going
trying
to
to do.
It's a whole
Yeah.
year.
Yeah.
You know, you're going to be doing different things and you're going to shock yourself.
Yep.
The world's going to take a twist and turns, and you're going to be doing things along with that and take different paths.
And that's something 2020 taught all of us.
Right.
Did I ever think I'd be working from home? As much as I asked God for a chance to work from home, I did not want this
Well,
to be...
he said, there you go.
I did not want this to be the way I got it.
He said, oh, you want to work from home? Okay.
I did not
Yeah,
want this to
pandemic.
be how it happened.
Right.
I was talking, down the road, working for myself, but this is what I was given, and this is what I'll take, and I will work with and do my best, and it is what it is,
And that's all you can do is adapt to the situation.
Right, and 2020, I think, taught a lot of people how to adapt, and it taught a lot of people how to, honestly, how to fall apart, and it sucks.
And I'm one of those people. My life hasn't changed all that dramatically, with the exception of working from home. I still see the same people that I was seeing before. There's very few people that are missing.
Right.
And I was always home because I can't drive. So for the last 4 years, I spent at home. So nothing's really changed with the exception of the gym.
And I'm trying to think what else. Just seeing coworkers, seeing people, more people, I guess you could say. Even if someone's not my best friend in the whole wide world, that social interaction means everything. So I think that's kind of where a lot of people are falling apart. Even if you don't love everyone you see every day, you're just like, oh God, I wish I could just go get a cup of coffee with that person that I normally see.
Yeah.
And it's just how it is. So I don't know. 2020 taught us all a lot, I think, and I'm hoping we can all just move forward. And
well, I'm hoping people learn from it. I'm hoping,
yes,
people will learn how to adapt to situations like this. I hope people learn that they need to appreciate the things they have,
and stop asking for more,
and spending time with their family and neglecting their kids. And there's a bunch of things that went on in different people's lives, and if we don't learn from it, then what good did it do?
And the other thing is just like, I hope people learn to just stop taking everything to the extreme.
Yeah.
It's been...
I don't think people will ever stop that, but...
I've never noticed it before this year, and maybe...
it's just a lot more. It's because people have less to do. People have more time on their hands.
It just... Oh, I can't. I'm just like, why?
But... Yeah, I mean, that's about New Year's resolutions, and for me, I just don't really, I don't know. I don't see myself having that one goal. I'm always, how Jason wants to better himself in something different? I want to get better at the stuff I'm already good at.
Well, I think you could take that in the way of like, okay, what I do now, there are certain aspects of it that I'm not great at.
That's what I meant.
So,
that's what I meant.
Because of that, that is something I
want to expand on it.
You're really not that knowledgeable on, so you need to get, because he knows what he's going to look into, but he knows bits and pieces. Now he wants to learn more.
Right.
That's your goal. Something he's not that knowledgeable in is what he said.
Yeah.
If you're not that knowledgeable in one particular area of what you're trying to do, that's what you need to expand on. Like, you need to do more research, read more.
Yeah.
I know you don't like reading, but reading is good.
Listen. I like read. I mean, I don't like reading, but I'm not gonna lie. I like listening.
Yes.
So that's why I love podcasts so much. And I've actually tried to listen to a book on tape, and it was even more boring than reading it myself. So because it's just like you could tell they're reading.
Well, yeah, they're reading.
That's why I like listening to a podcast, because it's a conversation.
They're reading the book for you.
So I know, that's why I don't like it. I don't like it because you can tell.
You can't read it yourself, and you can't have someone else read it?
Nope, can't do it.
Well, I don't know how you're going to get more knowledgeable on anything then.
Podcast.
Okay.
It's a regular conversation, and people are just talking normal.
And then you just research whatever they talked about.
Well, most podcasts are good about making sure they have facts.
Nah, but you can't trust just a person talking.
Well, I always look it up to make sure like what they're talking about.
So you do the research.
I mean, it's not like I
on-
listen to the comedy ones and take what they say as truth, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, but I listen to other ones that they make sure that they're telling you facts. They're not just spitballing,
Yeah.
you know? But let's get into these podcasts because there's 26 of them.
All right. Well, just clips, right?
Yeah, they're just clips, but I want to go through and just talk a little bit about each one
That's fine.
and what I learned from it and what you thought about it,
All right.
even though you didn't watch any of them or listen to any of them.
I live right next to this room, so
Oh, you hear me when I'm recording.
I can hear when you record.
Okay.
The only ones I don't know are the Zoom ones because I can't hear the other
You can't
person.
hear them, right. All right, so the first one is actually you.
It's me?
Yeah, episode 29, and that was the beginning of January, I believe.
Oh boy.
What's your favorite thing about yourself?
I know that I am resilient because I have been put down, knocked out, however you want to say it, more times than I can count. I had so many opportunities to just give up, but I didn't. I don't lose the battle with my mind, where my mind is like, okay, it's, you know what? You know, I don't give in to those dark thoughts. I feel like that's where I shine the most. I'm resilient.
And it's what I would say about you is like I talk about it all the time with people and with you, but that people gravitate towards you. You know, I like that, and you always think like I don't look at you for anything, but I do.
Oh, that's so sweet.
Oh,
First of all, let's just shout out to the microphone.
changing the
quality,
mic. Oh my
the
gosh.
change in the mic, the sound quality.
I'm so happy.
Let's also talk about the fact that I was the slowest speaker in the world.
What
And
you were
let's
probably thinking.
Also talk about the fact that I definitely gave myself a word and said the total opposite of what I just said about myself. So I said I'm resilient. Here I'm saying I'm a quitter.
Quitter, yeah.
So my mindset has 100% changed since that. Mm-hmm. I don't know what all I've been through. I mean, I think because that was shortly after.
That was right after surgery.
That was right after surgery.
Yeah.
So
just a couple of
I
days you
think-
had just had the thing.
right. So 2020 hadn't hit. I wasn't denied all of my medical access and stuff like that. So
Yeah.
I think a lot of things changed in that aspect. But, you know, I've also, I look different too. Moving on. Who's next? Ooh,
Next
Megan.
is Megan Quinn. So I trained with her a lot at Retro, and she's actually a hairdresser, and she actually just recently opened up her own place.
Her own salon, yes.
So here she is, episode 30, Megan Quinn.
I really struggled for a long time with my addiction. Like, it was a really big piece of what kind of put me in the hair world, which put me in the fitness world. It was like a whole trickle effect. You know, I struggled with drugs and alcohol for such a long time. It took me to the worst place possible. And then being put into the hair world and given an opportunity, and that really opened up doors for me because I went from living on the street to now having somewhat of a career path. Somebody believed in me, said, okay, we're going to give you a chance. Don't screw up, but we're going to give you a chance. Once we accomplished the being clean part, I was like, shit, I can do a lot. Like, I can do anything. If we can do this, then we can do anything.
Yeah.
It gave me such an appreciation for all that I have now, too. Like, huge appreciation, which is why I always say it can be gone tomorrow. Like, literally can be gone tomorrow, which is why all that vanity crap means nothing to me.
Yeah, she's been through it, and now she's got her own salon, and it's just
she's
incredible.
killing it.
She is killing it.
And again, like, you know, I wanted to talk to her is because I saw how she trained in the gym, and I saw, like, on social media, like, her working, and then I saw she had kids, and I saw, you know, that's the nonstop kind of person. And I was just like, so many people say, I can't do this because of kids. Just wait till you have kids. You won't be able to do
I know.
anything.
People tell us that all the time.
I'm like, she got 2 girls that are in gymnastics and stuff, and that's not an easy,
yes.
that's not an easy thing to, you know?
Yeah.
But
it's not cheap, and it's a full-time job for those kids. It's a full-time job for the parents.
And the next one is episode 31 with the man, the myth, the legend,
Aaron Hamrick.
Do you miss playing Australian football?
Oh.
Yeah, I tell you, I told somebody the other day, I think Australian football was my favorite sport of any to play. It's just something about the kicking. I think because when I lived in Australia, you know, that's all we did. Instead of going out in the yard or the street and throwing a ball with your dad, you would kick the ball with your dad. I love the physicalness of it. You know, I like getting hit. You know, I couldn't hit people very hard, but I could take a hit. Even when I was a little kid playing football back, you know, behind our house, we had this parkland, and we'd play tackle all the time, and I could always take a hit. I just couldn't dish it out because they were always bigger than I was. The very first game. So let's go through the timeline again. So Monday, I made the email. Wednesday, I went to practice, and that Saturday, I played my first game. I was hooked, man. After that, I was like, this is definitely for me.
I can relate to that on such a huge level. That's how I felt when I got into the karate school.
Yeah.
My first class, I was like, I'll be back. And then the first time he got me to stay for jiu-jitsu, and I was like, I'm never leaving.
Yeah, and it's that kind of thing that he has in him to just put himself out there and do that.
Yeah.
Because if it wasn't for him being like that, I would have never done anything.
No.
Because I was always too scared.
You got
to
pushed
put myself
by
out
him,
there, you know, and he pushed me to do things and that I didn't want to do, and I ended up loving it.
Yeah.
So that's why I see now is this, like, even though I'm scared, I got to put myself out there. You know, it's like, I forgot to mention earlier, but my sister said, like, her resolution is to get herself out of her comfort zone. And I think that's a lot of people, because that's definitely me. You know, I'm a shy person at heart, even though I seem outgoing when I talk to people.
No, you're the most shy person I've ever met.
I'm the most shy person, yeah. I mean, I really don't talk to people unless they talk to me first.
No, and it's highly annoying.
Yeah, and people get upset.
People, I mean, sometimes I feel like, well, I mean, 99% of the time I know that the only reason we have friends is because of me.
Yeah.
And then sometimes I feel like if we get left out, it's because, like, oh, Ben wouldn't want to do that. Like,
yeah.
And then I'm like, guys, I'll go.
But really, I'll do anything.
Yeah, people just
There's nothing, yeah.
You have to get to know you. And
right.
It's just hard to do that.
Yeah, and I know that, so I'm fine with that.
It's just your face
so it just doesn't
so off-putting. No offense.
Hey,
like, you're
it is
really
what it
attractive, but you've got RBF like nobody I've ever seen.
But it's like I have no problem with it because I know that of me.
I think
about me.
I think getting out of your comfort zone would be something good for you too.
Yeah. And I've always been trying to do that. It's not just this year. Like, I've always just tried to do new things that scare me.
Like what?
You know, I mean, like this, like having guests on the podcast.
Okay. Well, besides that,
I mean, just doing different things like with the business and trying to like message and email people and talk to people about like what they do. What?
Nothing. It's just cute that's what your comfort zone is, not like sheltered.
Yeah, it scares me.
It's terrifying.
Because it is. And it's like to email someone that you don't know about something you don't know if they'll take offense to, you don't know if they'll be mad that you asked that. You don't know anything. I
guess I'm just so used to it being in the corporate world. It's very different for me. Where
you talk to people daily. You don't know every single day. I don't.
I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know why, but yeah, that just freaks me out. But anyway, episode 33 is my boy Mark Griffin.
I like music with passion behind it. Like metal music, I look at it and I'm like, this guy is literally destroying his vocal cords to bring his art to you.
Yeah.
Like he's trying to get his message out and he's literally tearing himself apart on this stage. And that's why you hear passion behind it. You see them on stage when they're either like on the floor, like bent over, or like running across, you know.
Mm-hmm.
And like it's the same thing with like praise and worship music to me. You'll see people on stage that are like, you look at them, you're like, that guy went through something, and this song is like helping
He's
him
feeling
get
it.
through.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'm not even gonna lie. Every time I'm on stage at church, I cry almost every time.
Yeah.
And even if I'm not on stage and I'm just standing out with the rest of the church, some of the songs, dude, I'll sit there and think about it, and I'm just like, man, I'm really feeling this. And then the song comes on and it says something, not empowers me, but it just like lifts something off of me.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, oh my gosh, thank you.
Yeah, yeah, man.
But like anything with passion in it, I feel like it's crazy. I love it.
Dude, I love him, and I relate to him so heavy when it comes to the music thing. Music gets me. I have a song for every person in my life, every situation I've ever been through. People come to me asking for songs. I need a song for this, for blah, blah, blah. Like, it happens all the time. I love music in that same way, and worship music does that to me too. And metal music,
100%.
People will walk into our house and hear like this screaming from the basement, and they're like, what's Ben doing? I'm like, oh, he's just working out. Like, it's fine. Like, that's normal music for us, but a lot of people just aren't used to it. But no, he's awesome. Mark's great, and he's talented. And
Yeah, I mean, and the thing is, when he's talking about the person just tearing his lungs up, and you probably don't know this, but like whenever I get the chance to be home alone,
you scream
you know,
practice.
I just, you know,
You think I don't know what you do when you're home alone?
it's just, you know, I like to scream because again, it takes something out of me that I don't get out when I lift. You
It's
know,
the same
and it's
thing
something.
I
It's a
do.
different passion for me to like sing along with music and then hear myself, and then I'll also record it on here. So sometimes
Can I hear some of it sometime? 'Cause that
no,
would be
I delete it all the
great.
time.
Really?
But no, yeah.
Set me up. I'm gonna start singing when I feel like, because I sing to our kitchen all the time. I always feel like you're low key watching me on the kitchen camera every now and then. I'm like, I wonder if he's watching me like have a straight up ballad with myself.
Yeah.
Like I sing to myself. I sing to Ziva. Like, no, I'm all about that.
Yeah, but people don't understand, especially with metal music. They don't understand. They just think it's a bunch of yelling.
You have no idea.
You don't
until
understand the passion.
Read the lyrics.
Yeah.
And then
Right.
listen harder.
Yeah, you don't understand the passion and the whatever drives that out of them. It's just a different level.
My sister from another mister.
Yeah, next one, episode 34, was Chrissy Zezu.
There's a lot of times I don't want to lift.
Yeah.
You know, but I know in the back of my mind I'm gonna hate myself, and I'm gonna really hate that I haven't done that.
Yeah.
Because one, that really gets me going through my day, and that makes me feel like I achieved something.
When you first think you want to quit, you're not even close
Right.
to what you can actually do.
Exactly.
Like, that's just your mind telling you to stop. Like, you
Yep.
can do so much more than that, which I
Right.
think is really interesting.
Right.
You know what I mean? Because you
definitely.
hear that and you're like, okay, I'll just stop. And then your
Yeah.
mind makes excuses why you should stop.
Yeah, yeah.
You know, it's like, oh, like, you're going to hurt yourself or whatever. Like, whatever the excuses are, like, it's really interesting. Like, the whole mind game that he plays with himself to be better.
Oh, you guys talked about David.
David Goggins, yeah, because he's a freak.
Yeah.
Yeah. And
The
so,
mindset thing gets me every time because I'm always like, I need to stop now. Like, there are some times where it's totally legit, where it's like, I just had seizures, it's time to be done.
yeah.
And there's other times where it's like, I'm just tired or I'm sore, I feel
Right.
like I'm going to fall over, and it's like, could I do more? I don't know.
Yeah,
I
and
don't play that game with myself.
Right, and there's always that line, especially with you that has a health issue, is like, should I keep going or should I stop? But if I stop, am I a quitter? Or if I stop, am I playing it safe that I need to be? You know what I mean? And that's a tough line
It's a fine line,
right.
because I remember when I used to go to the gym with Ben Steele, we would deadlift day was always my least favorite day. And he would be over there throwing more plates on for me. And I'd be like, no, I'm dying right now. And he'd be like, no, you can do this. And it took someone else telling me, yeah, you can do one more with this. And as soon as I did it, I was golden. Like, so that, I mean, I totally agree with that, the whole mindset thing. I just don't have it in me yet. I need someone else to tell me you can do more.
Yeah.
DJ Swanky.
And then
Hey,
the next
Sammy.
episode was DJ Swanky, which is my boy Sami, episode 36.
Hey, Sammy.
Probably that new KFC one with the donut.
I want to stay away from that, bro. I had
Yo,
remember when
it looks
KFC did
good.
the double down, the chicken.
Oh, with the two?
The
Yeah,
chicken.
yeah.
I don't get. I ate
Yeah.
that. I think if I eat that donut sandwich, I'll probably be done. Probably go to cardiac arrest. I'm not gonna lie. I like Chick-fil-A a lot, actually.
Yeah.
Even though Chick-fil-A be getting kind of sketchy because they messed up my order twice. They don't usually do stuff like that. I got a little nervous. I'm like, hold on. But then I thought, Chick-fil-A don't make mistakes. Maybe it was God's will for me to not. Maybe that was God's plan. All right, you don't.
Yo, that's the best excuse they could probably give you.
It was in the will of the Lord. He definitely told me.
Hey, it's meant to be, man. I'm sorry, but.
Because I asked her for a Chick-fil-A Deluxe, and she gave me a grilled chicken sandwich instead of regular. I'm like, I don't know if she's trying to call me fat. No, the Lord wants me to watch my diet. So that's why he gave me a grilled chicken sandwich.
The Lord's chicken.
Yo, he had me dying during that podcast. It was funny.
He's funny.
But I'm very proud of him, man, because, we all grew up in the same area, and we're all doing something with our lives.
Yeah.
And it's cool to see all of us doing something different and trying to make a name for ourselves. I don't know if I want to play this one.
Baby bro.
It's the other man. I've had my brother on 3 times, I think. I've had you and my brother on 3 times.
He's the best, and
I
I'm
think.
the
So this
best.
was his second episode.
There's no
But
question.
when I was stripping the other night, I started peeing in the sink, and I look up into the mirror, and I saw my blonde hair, and I started freaking out because I completely forgot I dyed my hair, and I was like, "What did I do?" I was like, "Yo, Haley, let's shave my head right now." I was like, "I'm shaving my head," and then I don't know. I think I started drawing something, and it made me forget about my hair being blonde again and me wanting to shave my head. I was drunk. Anything that ever happens to me in my body is because I'm drunk. That is the reason why my legs are just covered in tattoos.
Yeah, let me see your legs. Oh my gosh.
My friend Elliot, he draws these monster faces, unique as fuck. They're cool ass monster faces. Because I don't like having tattoos that other people have. That's fucking weird to me.
Oh, definitely.
I don't want you to have the same shit.
Yeah.
Dude's crazy, man.
He's a hot mess, but I
love him. Yeah, I love him to death.
I love him so much, and I'm proud of him. Talk about people doing stuff. I'm so proud of him.
Yeah.
D. Will. The man, the beard, the legend.
Yeah, the conspiracy theorist. Episode 39, David Wilson.
Put on Netflix.
What?
The OG Power Rangers from the 90s.
Did they really? The movie or the show?
The show.
Oh, wow. See, but now I watch that and I'm just like,
So
dude,
cheesy.
that thing exploded 10 miles from you and you're jumping in the air. Oh. And I hear people, it's funny because I hear people talk about what do you think the villains were doing when the when the Power Rangers were making their Megazord? I was like, yo, it's so true because that takes forever. It's like what's that other guy? What's the guy doing? You know what I mean? Just chilling, waiting for it to happen.
Like Dragon Ball Z when Goku's powering up and sitting there screaming for 10 minutes. What's the villain just doing? Just chilling?
What? You two are dumb. You have the hardest time talking. You guys are best friends. That makes no sense.
I don't know. Crazy stuff. Next one's probably even crazier.
Young Sash.
Young Sash. Episode 41.
What do you take from this whole Corona thing? Do you have what gives you hope?
One thing that is cool from this whole thing happening is it's showing me that we can all band together again, and that people just do have a side that when 9/11 happened and when things like this happen, it shows that we can band together and we can kind of all stand for the same thing again and kind of be more united. I hope we take the positive things of this and hold on to them and not just all right, back to partying, back to let's F things up. I keep saying I'm so worried that like when the Phillies won a championship, like people destroy the city. Why? So I just hope this is when people can adapt to their everyday life and not just be because we're going through a pandemic right now, you know.
Oh, she's my positivity friend.
Yeah.
She keeps it.
That was good. I think that was like in the beginning. No, that was in May. So that was just a couple months in.
Yeah.
And then the next one was my cousin Sierra, episode 43. How did you get into this music video that I saw you in?
I was at home washing my car, like completely drenched in soap and water. And I get a text from one of my cousin friends and was like, hey, I'm supposed to be in this music video later, but I don't have time. I'm still at work. Like, is there any way you can do it? You have to be there in like 2 hours. I made my mom come with me because I was honestly really nervous and like, what am I supposed to expect when I go here? Since I was actually at home and not at school at my apartment, I didn't have any clothes at all except like the dirty car wash clothes I was wearing. Yeah, so it was funny. It was also freezing. It was probably like 30 degrees and I was out there in a short sleeve shirt for hours. I mean, it ended up being 2 days of shooting and we stood in that barn for like 3 hours just replaying the scene over and over again.
What music video was she in?
I forget what the band's called, the Davidson Brothers or something like that. It's a country band. I think they're from Australia or something like that. And she got to be in it. She was the girl that the boyfriend cheated on.
Oh.
Yeah.
Well, that's a fun part to play.
Let's see, that one.
You're gonna skip me? What did I talk about?
Oh, I don't know. So
exactly.
So Heather Hamrick is the next one. Oh, this is the relationship advice.
Aw.
People end relationships because they fight.
Yeah, that's
or they fought
stupid.
about something and they go crazy about it. I'm like, are you kidding me?
Yeah.
Like, you're gonna fight. I think that's weird if you don't.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You're never gonna agree on everything. You're not, but you be the bigger person. And if you're wrong, admit that you're wrong. I don't have to do that a lot, but
he thinks he doesn't have to. The advice I've given my nieces in the past couple years is just don't settle for some rando. Like, don't do that. You have to think about what's important to you, and you have to think about what you want from a relationship and realize whether that person is actually going to give it to you or not, because some people are great on the outside and everything seems okay, but then they've got this little like part of them that you're just like, yeah, that's like red flag.
Yeah.
Don't ignore the red flags.
You still feel the same way?
Don't ignore red flags. I still feel the same way. Also still feel it. If you don't fight, you're weird, and you do think that you don't have to apologize for a lot of things. That's fine. That's cool.
Yeah.
You're perfect.
I didn't say that. Anyway, next episode was episode 50 with Jada Stevenson.
Aw, Jada.
I've experienced so many cool different things because I'm open. Like I said, my friend who took me, look, I'm really afraid of spiders. I have arachnophobia. Like it's real.
Really?
Yes, I can't look at them in books. I can't look at them on TV.
Oh, gee. Are you always like that?
I like everything is dark like this. I feel like when I put yes, but it's bad. But I went horseback riding in the woods. I would have never done that if it wasn't for or kayaking. And she had a pet duck, and the duck was in the kayak with us with its little diaper. And we just did. I've just experienced so many things I never would experience if I had just been closed-minded to her and judged her off the bat. She had a pet duck named Marty.
Hold on. So you just went past that like it was with her duck in a diaper.
I know. His
Why
name
is it
Marty.
in a diaper?
He's so cute because they poop all the time. But his name was Marty, and he was so cool.
That was hilarious.
There's a duck.
I think that was like a 2-hour podcast.
Yeah. She was here for a long time.
Yeah. But I mean, she was cool. She told me about not a rally, but like the protests and stuff like that. So it was cool to hear, and to hear what her experience was pretty cool. But episode 54 is another one with John Hamrick.
Any Black Mirror on Netflix?
No.
What?
Black Mirror. I never even heard of that.
Black Mirror, watch them, dude. They're crazy.
First
it's like
podcast
crazy.
with a new
They're like
mic.
little horror. They're like, I guess you could call it horror. I guess, like they're creepy. Some of them are creepy, but like they're all these little episodes. They're all different episodes of all this like crazy ass shit. And there's one episode where it's like these two dudes and they're best friends, and like they like have this new game system
that's
where you
the
like
one
put
I
these
watched.
things on
Yeah,
your
that's how I
shit,
heard of
and
it.
then like you like knock out and you're like you go into this world. And it's like Tekken, and they like fight each other, but one dude's the guy and like the other dude's like the girl, and they like get horny for each other and they like start fucking.
I don't know if I want to watch that.
But
Yo,
you
it's-
still did,
I
and
still
I had
watched
to
it
watch
anyway.
with you.
I did
Oh,
not see that shit coming. Like I did not see it coming at all, and I was blown away. Like it was insane.
Like, oh man, yeah, I wasn't into that episode. I mean that Black Mirror episode.
No.
It was weird. And then the next guest of 2020 is my man Kyle Smith, episode 57.
What drives you? What motivates you to keep going?
What motivates me to keep going is honestly my passion. I knew I wanted to do my own business. I was like, yeah, I just want to do things my way. That way I know I can make money because the way I want to do it. And going from being broke as shit to making six figures changed my life. Changed my life completely. I'll never look back. Because now I'm doing what I truly love to do, 110%, love it every day, don't get tired of it, and I'm hungry to be the best I want to do. I want people to Kyle knows his shit. I want them to be across the globe. So with that mindset of me feeling that way, keeps me hungry to keep going forward.
all right. Who's up? We got Big Rich. Number 9.
Yeah, episode 59, Richschuler. Kids sports is just that. It's supposed to be for teaching. It's supposed to be for learning. It's supposed to be, you gain different experiences. You gain that discipline. You gain a drive. You gain motivation on, okay, do I really want this? You gain a work ethic.
Yeah.
You know?
And there's a way to get all those lessons in by still having fun.
Oh, yeah.
You don't have to be a drill instructor.
No,
it's
not
just
at all.
about energy. When they're like yelling at them from the stands, it's like, dude.
What do you expect to get from that?
Yeah, what do you expect to get? Like you just gave like so much negative energy to that kid.
Right.
Take the positive. Like it could be the littlest thing, but take that and make that the highlight of the game.
Yeah.
As far as being a parent, just be a parent. You know what I mean? Like enjoy the game because at the end of the day, like we all know, time flies, man.
Yeah.
And you know what I mean? These times go by so quick. So just sit back and enjoy it.
Yes.
Yes, seriously.
100%.
He's so good.
Yeah, and that's why I wanted him on, because I wanted him to talk about that and talk about, he's
Youth
seen
sports. He sees it.
Yeah, he sees the parents and how stupid they act when, they think their kid's going to go to MLB or something like that,
I mean, I
It's
see
just-
it hands on, and I can't. That's why, I mean, he's good. I mean, he knows what he's talking about, especially, baseball, number 1.
Oh, yeah.
I wanted him so that it would target a specific audience to help my nephew out. You know what I mean?
Right.
Let him be a kid. Let him play. And just...
And that's what it's about,
Stop.
Everything's about trying to get famous or trying to get to the big leagues. And there's no point in doing that. Just have fun. And then if you get to go to college for it, then you can start thinking about getting to the big leagues.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because that's when you're gonna pick a specific sport that you're going to college for. Anyway.
All right. Who's next? Jonathan Baines.
Next podcast of 2020 is episode 60, Jonathan Baines. Where's your mindset at, and what's your motivation to keep going and to keep for you, like making music and doing all that kind of stuff? Like, what pushes you to keep doing that?
Yeah, my motivation is first and foremost Christ.
my second motivation is obviously my wife and my family. Since I was a kid, I've just known this is what I wanted to do and what I was good at. While I don't know what the next steps look like, while I can't tell you what 10 years from now is going to look like, I know that that the gift is there, and I'm open to however God wants to use that. And so as each opportunity presents itself, I run with it. So if that's writing, if that's releasing music, I'm setting goals for myself right now. I have pretty much the next year mapped out of what I want to do with music. And so what I've done is I've taken that to God and I've said, this is what I want to do. He kind of guides me through that process.
Dude, I wish I could be, I've always said I wish I had a talent, anything like him.
Yeah.
Knowing what you want God to guide you in. I just ask God to guide me, and maybe I'll find what I'm good at, but
right.
to already know is just, it's crazy.
It is. I think
can't
it is.
I just can't imagine knowing what you want to do with your life, and I'm old, and I should already know this, but I have no idea. I couldn't tell you.
Right. But also, I remember him singing since elementary school.
Yeah.
But, not a lot of people, even though people can sing, I know tons of people that can sing, but not many people try and take it as far as him.
Yeah.
They sing in church or they sing in plays or whatever.
Yeah.
But he's actually living in Nashville, and he's actually trying to put out music and really grinding to try and, and he's gotten a lot better.
Yeah. I just wish I had any of that. You know what I mean? My parents.
Yeah, but your skills and your talents are maybe different, and you just don't see them rather than an actual thing like this.
My parents never made me do anything, so I'm
sure his parents never made him sing.
I had nothing to work with. Nothing.
But it's not even. But you're looking at it the wrong way. You might have a talent for something else. The thing I always say is my mom never had any ambition to really do anything else. Because I've talked to her about it. She's worked at a bank for 30 plus years. Yeah. And I've said, you never had the ambition or you never wanted or the drive or any motivation to do anything else? She said no. But I look at her, she does so many things for everyone else.
Yeah.
And that's her talent. That's her gift.
Yeah.
That she cares enough because I can tell you I don't.
Yeah.
To do as much as she does for other people, I don't care that much.
Yeah.
What she does. She's a very family-oriented person, and I love that. And maybe your gift or your talent is something along those lines, something like that. It may not be sports or singing or cooking or whatever. It's something else in a different form. You know what I mean?
I hope I find it someday.
I'm the same way. I just try and make my own way. Make your own path. And then you pray to God, and He will take you through that process.
Maybe I need to talk to Jonathan Baines.
But yeah, and that was a fun conversation. We talked about a lot of stuff. What's this one? Oh, this is a solo episode. So this is episode 61 is do something you hate. Doing things that you don't want to do. This week I started running. I physically do not want to run because I know how much it sucks. But what do they say? Embrace the suck and you just push forward. Push through it because guess what? After it, I feel so much better. Dude, I started running this morning. This old man, I live in an old people's neighborhood, so you got a lot of old people. They're up early in the morning, stuff like that. This old guy's having his driveway worked on. He had the concrete people there, and they're breaking up the driveway and stuff. He's out there holding his coffee, just watching them. He waves at me. He said, good job, young man. And that just sparked something in me to keep going. Yeah, dude, let's do this.
You bleeped
Let's
yourself.
keep this going. Because we're doing something right. And someone noticed.
How long did your running spree last?
A week. That was my goal.
1 week?
I was going to do it for a week. And then next week I stopped.
No, I just had to laugh at your camera angle.
I was switching cameras?
You kept staring at the camera like a weirdo.
Hey, it is what it is.
You
Gotta play the game.
You don't have to look at it.
And the next episode is episode 62. Don't worry, we're almost done. Episode 62 with Devin Reagan. My question to you is like how much does faith play a part in your decision making and all these kind of things in your life, you know?
So I feel like my journey in faith, like I started going to church with my family when I was 7, went to a Christian school. Like I've always been immersed in it. I feel like I kind of went in and out of it a lot. I go through kind of like these ups and downs in my closeness in my faith. But I have found that whenever there's been a big decision in my life, whether it's to go to school, to get married, to do anything, that's when I really have like fallen back on that because it's something that has always been there for me. It's a constant. God knows that we will question and we will doubt and we will be like, yeah, but maybe I can do it better. And like, I have to trust that God will use people to talk to me. He uses circumstances to talk to me. So I feel like faith definitely plays an impact, at least in the big decisions that I make. Probably should more in the smaller decisions, but working on it.
Same, girl, same.
Yeah, I mean, I feel the same too. It's just like in our life, you don't know how much God is doing. And you don't know how long, like he could be working on something for you 5 years from now. You know, things are in the works literally right now for you. And for me, you know, and that's just the coolest thing to know and to just keep moving forward and keep trying to work towards. But then the next episode, that was a great episode as well. Devin's a nutritionist that started her own business and also a lactation specialist, which was cool.
It must have been interesting to learn.
It was interesting. Because I asked her, I thought it would be a dumb question asking her about breastfeeding in public, but she's like, no, that's a great question. I was like, oh, okay.
You really asked that?
Yeah. Yeah, I was curious.
Free the nibble, babe.
Yeah, free the nibble. And this is a second episode with Sasha Camp, episode 63.
Young Sash.
This is me and my wife's favorite place on earth.
Me and one of my wives.
So when I see a story like this,
oh yes, I did see this story.
You see this story?
Mm-hmm.
There was a video on here, but I didn't see too much.
Yeah, I didn't watch the video. I just read about it.
Yeah, there wasn't too much. It was just him yelling.
Yeah. I didn't read that he was yelling mosquitoes.
You know.
He was really yelling mosquitoes?
No.
Put on a mask if you don't want the mosquito.
Read it again. Sound it out.
Screaming misquote. Oh my god. Misquotes.
I thought the same thing. The same thing. So it's not just me. Yo, I thought it was mosquitoes too.
We have that brain where if you see the first word and the last word, the first letter and the last letter, you just assume what the word is and you keep it going.
That makes me feel so much better.
Misquote.
It's not just me.
Look, it took me a long time in life to learn how to read. I couldn't read till I was like in 3rd grade anyway, so I feel just fine. Okay.
Yeah. That's hilarious because I thought the same thing. I was like,
remember.
Mosquitoes. That was hilarious.
Oh my gosh.
That was a great episode. Episode 64 with actually this is the first time I've ever talked to this dude.
Yeah.
I never met him before in my life, and he's a sneaker collector, and his real name is Jeremy, but I called him by his YouTube name, was his Kicknology.
So
what got you into shoes in the first place?
But it was the Jordan 13, the Cherry Red 13s. He had them, and I wanted them so bad, and wasn't able to get them, but I was able to get the Bread 13s. And I was trying out for the basketball team, had those shoes, and somebody stole them from the locker room when I was trying out for basketball. When I got a little bit older and started making my own money, I started collecting again. For some people, when they put on a sneaker, it's like putting makeup on for women. They feel like that they are a totally different person. Their confidence is through the roof. You can't tell them nothing about themselves, and it's just one of those things. But on the other end of those things, whenever they take them off, it's a demoralizing effect for them also, because they have so much confidence built in those shoes instead of themselves.
That's a good way to put it, because I've always wondered why people, like, the amount of money spent on shoes, like...
Yeah, it's crazy.
I've had the same sneakers. I mean, well, granted, we got new ones last year, but, like, your shoes literally have holes in them.
But these shoes they get are also like $600, $700. You know what I mean? It's crazy
for
amounts.
photos and then they're put
and they
away.
don't even wear them. Yeah.
But it's investments is what it is.
Right.
The amount of money they can make off of those shoes is...
Yeah, it would be crazy.
It's like buying stock.
And the great thing about him is, like, he uses it as a bait to share his faith. That's his big thing. Is that,
like
you know,
that.
people will follow his YouTube page for shoes, but then he also he has like this kind of little show where he compares like a Bible verse to his shoes. This a pair of shoes, you know what I'm saying? And you got to dig deep for that.
Yeah, you do.
You know what I mean? So I think that's really cool, and it was really cool to talk to him. And I met him through Sasha's brother.
Yes.
And this next one is a boy I went to school with when we were younger, and it's episode 65, Alex Austin.
Somebody gave me advice, and I still haven't put it in my heart and used it in every area, but I say, you need to hand out your opinions and your thoughts like they're $100 bills, not $1 bills. Right? Because I'm just like, hey, it's my opinion.
You're making it rain,
this is
man.
everything I think. This is all my thoughts. So I just
yeah.
put them out there. And like the smartest person in the room is the dude who in a meeting, he doesn't say anything. And then at the end, after everybody has said their piece, then you say, hey, what do you think? You haven't said anything. And then they're probably going to drop some bomb because they've been listening, understanding, come up with a response, and here it is. We need to shut up and listen more. Proverbs says that even a fool may seem wise if he shuts his mouth. Ooh, so that's like, dude, you could be really stupid, but if you just be quiet, people are like, oh, he is so wise.
I like that, though. I need to start using that in meetings.
Well, it all started because we were talking about me, and because he was saying like, how would you like do this? Like you're so quiet, blah blah blah.
You still are.
So yeah, I mean that's how we started talking about that. But then we started talking about how everything's going on today, and people were just, boom, my opinion, boom, my opinion. Here you go. You didn't ask for it. I'm gonna give it to you anyway. Especially with politics, I think that's the biggest thing. Everyone's just spitting out their opinions. I'm
and
like,
I
so
nothing.
I was like, why do I don't want to hear that. I don't care. And we talked about how it was funny, like when not even, I think before 2016, people didn't really talk about their political side. You didn't really talk about that, but now everyone's just blurting it out. So that's where all that kind of stemmed from.
Yep.
Next clip is episode 67 with soon-to-be lawyer Carol Thompson. Do you think that anyone could be a lawyer? Or does it take something special?
So I would say that to be a really good lawyer, you do need something else.
Yeah.
Lawyers, if you just want to do your job and you understand how to make arguments, like just to formulate a reasonable argument, I think you can do it. But the best lawyers think 5 steps ahead. So the best lawyers I've seen are, really prepared, think really quickly on their feet. That question is hard to answer because I do think to be a really good lawyer, you do have to have a little bit something else.
I could not be a lawyer.
No.
That's what Sasha wanted to be.
She wanted to be a lawyer?
She wanted to be a lawyer.
Yeah, I couldn't do it.
Now, God put her in a law office where she does something else that she is much better, she's really good at. I think it's just ironic, but that's what she always wanted to do.
Yeah. No, I couldn't do it, man.
I can argue,
too
but
much
no
school.
thank you. Yes.
It's too smart.
No.
You gotta be too smart. You gotta remember.
No, stop saying that. Stop saying you have to be too smart, because you are smart.
Well, you have to be able to hold things. What's the word for retain? You have to be able to retain a lot of information in a short amount of time.
I can't do it now.
Plus, I get intimidated by courts, so I don't want to be in there. I like watching documentaries.
Next.
I watch a documentary, but that's about it. episode 68 with Phil Gebhardt. That's where I'm at with training, and I do a lot of powerlifting. I'm big into that right now. Yeah. And then I'll add a little bodybuilding in there, here and there, and some plyos, stuff like that. But
stuff like that.
I just do it just to keep my mentality strong.
Right.
And then keep a decent body. I don't want to look gross. So.
Yeah, that's one thing. I've said that to many people is, if you are strong, you probably have a certain level of dominance over your own brain. Because it takes a certain level of willpower, it takes a certain level of dedication, it takes a certain level of commitment, it takes a certain level of this has to get done, it takes a certain level of recovery. So, I love strength, I love being strong. I mean, it's in all of my business names. I mean, I put it everywhere, because there's more to it. That word, there's more to it than just being physically strong to me. So I'm a big fan of that.
Yes, there's a lot to that. I am not strong, and therefore I have no willpower.
Yeah, I mean, I think that is, I love that so much, because you do, not just to be physically strong, but to be strong to do anything. You have to have that dominance over your own brain, to be able to do things that you don't want to do, to be able to finish your work or get your workout in or take care of your kids. And, you have to be able to push yourself. And that's where working, when you work out, it's just a different animal, and it just gets you to a certain place that you're able to do that and so much more.
Yeah.
Because it builds not just your physical body, but like your mentality. And that's what I love about it. And I've always loved about it. But next clip is Strong Tower Podcast episode 70 with Michael Haley. Since we're going through this whole pandemic thing, I'm sure a lot of people are questioning how do you believe in God, or how is there a God if he's allowing all this to happen?
We live in a fallen world. When God created Adam and Eve, there was no sin, and they sinned, and that's when all this disease and cancer and selfishness, that's when sin entered the world. And when you think about in John chapter 11, when Lazarus is dead and Jesus wept. One, I think he was weeping because he felt bad for them. But I think it was even a deeper idea, is that he saw and maybe felt on a personal level, a human level, what sin did to us.
Right.
Like that sin brought death. I think sometimes God gets the blame for things that he's not really responsible for. He allows us to live in our consequences.
That's one way to look at it.
Yeah, and I think that was a good layman's terms explanation, because a lot of people, they'll look that up in the Bible and they're just looking for it. I had actually someone message me on TikTok, because I put on my clips on TikTok, and said, I was looking all over the Bible for an answer, and this really hit me, and this really like meant something to me. And I was like, oh wow. I was like, that's crazy. But yeah, I think that's a big thing. And people do want to put blame on God. Even when they don't believe in God, they want to put blame on God. I'm like, how are you going to blame something that you don't believe in?
That and saying, oh, let's
just the
pray
easiest thing
for
to do.
Your health. Like,
or pray for your
when
health,
they're
right.
not even, what
I was
are you
like,
praying to?
Who are you praying to? You know what I mean? It's just like you're praying to someone you don't have a relationship with. You know, you're just calling up to the sky. Just something like that. And then moving on is episode 72 with Dr. John and Jimmy Glenn. Like, we're talking about all this success and like how to succeed and all this kind of stuff, but what is one of your most memorable failures? Do you have one?
Gosh, you learn lots of lessons, and when you life in general, but especially in business, you're humbled very often. trying to think of one specifically that stands out where I really learned a lesson from. It was profound. You learn lots of little do's and don'ts along the way, and the don'ts are sometimes more powerful than the do's. It's also important to surround yourself with people who are knowledgeable in specific areas. Understanding what I'm good at and what I'm not good at, and then having help in those deficiencies is key.
Yeah, that's for sure. Surrounding yourself with good people.
Yeah, especially that are good at things that you're not good at, to kind of compliment you and with everything, you know. I wish I had that, but nope, I have to do everything myself.
Gee,
so
thanks.
it has nothing to do with you. It's what I'm trying to build. You know what I mean?
And I'm not good at anything.
But it has nothing to do.
It
has
goes back
nothing.
to that.
But it does no.
I
For
got
me,
nothing.
that has nothing to do with you though. Because it's for me. I see it as, look, I'm being forced to do these things by myself. So guess what? I have to learn them. You know what I mean? Like I have to learn the advertising, the marketing, and how and what's the best way to go about things in this whole business venture that I'm trying to do. And it's teaching me. This is how I learn. I've always learned this way, through real life situations. I suck at school. I hated school. So that's why I love this, is because it gives me these real life situations that's making me think, and it's making me figure it out on how and what I'm supposed to be doing.
Yeah.
That's what it is. So I'm glad, I don't have people around me I can just, because you know what I would do? I would end up just saying, oh, can you just do this for me?
That's how the corporate world works.
Yeah. And I don't want to do that, because that's what I did in high school. Hey, can you just do this? Just do it for me. That's what I refuse to be like now with this. I learn, and it's hard. It's hard as hell. But I know eventually it'll probably get me somewhere, so we'll see. And then this, I didn't do a clip for the last one, but this is the latest one that we had. Episode 73, Love and Understanding, featuring Heather Hamrick. So the next 4 games is the Saints, the Cardinals, Cowboys, and then Washington. Are you going to win any of those games?
Did you say the Cardinals?
Cardinals, yeah.
Arizona Cardinals. This was the clip. That's a team?
Yeah, it has to be. It's Angelo plays on them.
Why did I think the Cardinals was a baseball team?
Because it is. St. Louis Cardinals. This is Arizona Cardinals.
Have they always been a team?
Yeah.
Shut up. No, they haven't.
The Arizona Cardinals have always been a team.
Shut up. I've been watching football my entire life. I've never heard of the Arizona Cardinals.
Don't know how They've always been a team.
I really don't.
That's so sad.
Blank moments, I guess.
Let me see when they...
When did they become a team?
In 1898.
Shut up.
Became...
They've just never been relevant to me then. That's what
They're actually the oldest team in the National Football League.
Okay, that's really sad, Heather. Get it together.
Yeah, so they've been around for a while.
But that's the thing. They obviously have never been relevant for me to ever care about them.
No, it says they're the oldest team in the NFL, but they're also one of the least successful franchises in league history.
Okay, that's why. Because I've never bothered to see a game that they...
And they've won 2 NFL championships, so that was before the Super Bowl even became a thing. But they've never won a Super Bowl.
Have the Eagles played them?
Yes. Yeah, the Eagles have played them.
I feel like the dumbest person right now.
That's all good.
Still hate that that's what you chose for the clip when the title is Love and Understanding.
It's alright. That was loving.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, and that's all the people we had during that wonderful year of 2020.
Yeah.
I'm surprised we had that many in-house guests.
In the beginning, I was very against in-house guests. You remember that. I was very, very cautious about who I let into the house.
Oh, well, I am too.
I was...
I'm not just going to not let anyone in my house, you know what I mean?
I was definitely I came in here and sanitized after people left. You didn't know that, but I did.
Oh, you're talking about during the thing. Oh, I thought you were talking about in general.
No. I mean, okay. obviously, in general, I don't want just random people knowing my address, but
Well, yeah.
During that time, I was definitely a little weary of letting people into the house.
Yeah, because Sami was here late March.
Yes, and he was the one I was worried about. He was one of them.
Right. I wasn't worried.
I was like, oh, like, we don't know who he's hung out with. We didn't know any of those things.
Right.
So it was just definitely something to consider, you know. But I came in and Lysol'd everything, so I felt a little better. I stayed out of the room, you know, all that.
Yeah. And then there's one person that I didn't make a clip of for some reason. I guess I forgot. I don't know what was Eustace. We had Eustace, Jacobs, Beezer.
How come you didn't make a clip
I don't know.
Eustace?
I think I was mad at the audio. I think the audio was that bad, and it just pissed me off.
Aw.
Yeah.
Well, that's my boy, so.
That's my boy, too.
I love him.
Good dude.
Yes.
But yeah, that's it for 2020. And this is the last podcast of 2020. And hopefully, you know, I already have people lined up for 2021. So I'm excited to see what the podcast will do next year.
You missed a couple people I'm noticing as I'm looking at the screen, but that's fine.
Who?
Melissa Boslowski, right there.
Oh, yeah. She was just, I didn't have her in my clips folder.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, well, we just had her.
And
That's right.
You and I did a quarantine special.
And I know. I wasn't going to put all of them. I was just wanted the guests on there.
Oh, you and I did 2 other ones.
We did a lot of them.
We did quite a few, actually. We did a bunch. People say they like it better when I'm on here anyway, though, so that's what I've heard.
It's all good. That's why I started having you on here more.
Yeah, and this is the first time I'm stepping out of my comfort zone and being allowed on camera again.
There you go.
You're welcome.
So everyone watching, you're getting a treat.
I don't know if it'll happen again, but I'm here.
So if you're watching on YouTube, you're getting a treat. You know, you get to see.
It's quite fine if you're just listening. I wasn't very vivacious today. I don't know what's wrong with me. I'm very, very tired.
Yeah.
And also very, very hungry. But all right.
It's all right.
It was nice chatting with you this year, and I'll see you next year.
All right, babe. I'll see you next year, and thank you guys for listening this year. And
keep listening.
Keep listening. Tell your friends about us.
Share
us everywhere.
Subscribe.
You know,
ring the bell.
And we always encourage to call the hotline. I think that's a big thing I want to keep pushing, is because I love hearing people leave voicemails on the podcast hotline.
That's what people don't. Just a reminder, like, it's a voicemail. No one's answering that, so you don't have to worry.
You're not live. I'm not answering.
Live. No one's answering. No one's.
Yeah.
It's just a voicemail. You're literally talking to no one.
Yeah.
So feel free to leave whatever.
Yeah.
Message either one of us on Instagram.
Yeah. If we said something wrong on a podcast, like, feel free to tell me. Feel free to yell at me. Feel free to curse me out on my own hotline.
Don't do that to me, because I'll come back at you. So. It's fine.
And just say, you know, just call and say what's up or anything like that. Doesn't have to be anything serious. Hi. Yeah.
And if there's anything you'd rather hear about on the podcast, a podcast that hasn't been done or that you haven't heard before, a topic, the type of person, you know, whether it be like a job title or what have you, just, you know, throw that out there too, because we're always looking for ideas for guests as well. So.
Yep.
Thank you for listening and supporting, and we hope that you will continue to do so in a very corona-free 2021. Here's hoping.
Yep, here's hoping.
From our lips to God's ears.
Yeah, so we thank you guys so much, and this is the last podcast of 2020, and, you know, we're out. Peace.